Well, this is going to be a Blu-ray update. It's going to be in various parts. The first part is going to be a title that Signal One Entertainment have been kind enough to send me, and that film is one of my favourites, and it's the 7-Ups from 1973, directed by Philip D'Antoni. Roy Scheider plays Buddy Minucci. He's a tough New York cop, leads the 7-Ups. So called because the unit employs underhand methods to trap criminals on charges usually resulting in sentences of 7 years or more. After becoming embroiled in a spat of kidnappings involving the ransom of various mobsters, the unit finds itself the subject of a mistaken reprisal, forcing Minucci to seek answers and vengeance. My thoughts on the film: if you like gritty 70s cop crime thrillers, this is one of the very best. Watching it again, I was struck at how lean it was. There's no ounce of fat on it. There's no subplots or home life scenes or involving like the wives or girlfriend. It's just a complete focus on the main plot involving a small cast of major characters. As a result, it moves at a great pace and doesn't sag at any point. The cast is superb. It's got the criminally underrated Roy Scheider, is usually fantastic, thoroughly convincing. Tony Lobianco is very good, his long-time friend and informant, while the great Richard Lynch is as a memorable villain, as you'd expect from him. The quality and authentic feel of the film probably has a lot to do with its pedigree. Director produced Bullet and The French Connection. Two of the real-life cops who worked on the film, Randy Jorgensen and Sonny Grosso, also worked on the 7-Ups. In fact, Grosso also worked with the real-life 7-Ups in the 60s, and here Scheider is again playing a character based on him, even though it's not supposed to be the same character he played in The French Connection, which was also based on Grosso. I also learned from the extras as well that the black member of Scheider's team, Jerry Leon, was actually a real-life 7-Up, which again adds to the sense of authenticity. The director was also involved in Bullet and The French Connection. Might explain why this film also has an iconic car chase, which is quite possibly the best ever put to film. Bill Hickman was also a stunt driver in The French Connection, and he fulfills the same role here while playing Lynch's partner, which is surprisingly effective for an actor. I really think he did a great job. I'm actually not the biggest fan of car chases, but I will make the exception here and one or two others, because it's just absolutely exceptional and holds your interest throughout. If you want to see the film for nothing else, and the car chase is just unbelievably good. But to sum up, the film is right up there with the likes of The French Connection, Serpico, Prince of the City, and it's a real highlight from the period which made the very best of crime dramas. The transfer, the master looks the same that used for the German Blu-ray, but it looks even better here thanks to the better encode. It's very good transfer in any case, faithful to the gritty approach and generally free of any specks or blemishes. Barring a 4K restoration, it's hard to imagine it looking any better, and it hasn't been released in the US yet. There's probably rumours that Twilight Time will get it, and probably be a lot more expensive and highly unlikely to be offered anywhere near the same volume and quality of extras, of which the extras we'll go through some now. It's absolutely just Signal One has outdone itself. It's just loaded and totally worthy of the special edition tag. There's a brief introduction by director Philip D'Antoni, as well as a 20-minute interview with him. Talks about his experiences with 7-Ups and The French Connection, his thoughts on actors and comments in general. It's an interesting revelation as well, which I never knew, that he initially planned to make Cruising. I love that film. Tried to make it in the 70s and he hired Spielberg, but alas it didn't happen, and Spielberg went on to make Jaws. There's also a great interview with Tony Lobianco. Talks about his close friendship with Scheider, as well as his relationship with other actors. Talks about his role in The French Connection and how he went on many cases with Sonny Grosso. Also, he even drew a murder confession from a suspect once. You can tell he's really enthusiastic about his time working on the film, and has fond memories of the period. There's also a 25-minute interview with Randy Jorgensen, which is really, really good. He's a former NYPD detective, served on the film in various capacities: technical advisor, stunt driver. He was Richard Lynch's stunt double. Talks about his role in The French Connection and 7-Ups, and the general mood of 70s New York. The the bad old days, as he calls it. Public perception of the police was at a real low. And he said these type of films did much for police morale and helping to change public perception. Perhaps the most interesting anecdote is one involving the French Connection, where he objected to Popeye Doyle shooting an unarmed man in the back, saying he looked bad in his real life counterpart Eddie Egan. However, when he saw the audience respond to the scene, he realised that Friedkin was right to do it for filmmaking purposes. It's a great interview, it really is. It's probably the best on the set. Also included, you have Jurgensen's scrapbook, which is a gallery of photos from the set of the 7-Ups with his personal narration. This is quite short but still interesting. It seems to show some deleted scenes involving Jurgensen, which never made it to the final cut. And then there's a featurette called Cut to the Chase, and a 15-minute new documentary about the famous car chase. It's made Jurgensen going through how ad hoc it all was and how risky, and how you'd never be able to get away with it in these days. He mentions at one point how they didn't take the right turn after coming off the George Washington Bridge and ended up being stopped by armed police who assumed they were bank robbers, particularly because it looked like a helicopter was pursuing them. It's a very interesting piece which only deepens your appreciation of the film. Also includes Anatomy of a Chase. There's a vintage behind the scenes feature at the car chase, and there's an audio commentary of writer and film historian Richard Harlan Smith. There's also a Super 8 version of the film, Vintage Curiosity, which runs for about 70 minutes and offers a truncated single reel presentation of a home view. And I was surprised at what an effective job they did in the circumstances, but obviously it's difficult to recommend it in this day and age, but still worth seeing. Finally, you've got 2 trailers as well as Lobby Carton Stills Gallery. So yeah, it's a fantastic film. Again, thank you. Thanks to Signal One Entertainment. And please, go show them your love. Pick up the title, support them. They're a small company and well deserving of support. And they're releasing some fantastic titles. And this is one of them. One of my favourite cop films of the 70s, and that period again was the mecca of outstanding police thrillers and dramas. So yeah, please show them your support and pick this title up. It's well worth viewing, and I recommend it wholeheartedly. And next up is a small package I've received. I picked up a few slip covers, and the gentleman who's in the States, he couldn't send them, so I asked Todd E Walnuts if I could send the slip covers to him, and then he could move them on to me, which he has done. But again, due to how generous Todd is, he included another film in there. I'm not really sure what it is. There's a package here. I'm going to just open it to the side because I haven't scratched my address off the so I might just open it slightly off cam for a second. There's the title there. I've no idea what it is. I asked, again, he was generous enough to take the slip covers in for me, but again, Todd decided to add another film to it, which is, again, just how generous the guy is. Well, what do we have here? The Alien Factor. It was weird. I was actually looking at a review of this the other day. I think on Blu-ray.com. Yeah, sci-fi horror. I trust your judgment, Todd. Thanks so much for sending me. I picked up something for you, and I really think you'll like it. I really think you'll like the thing I'm going to send you. I personally love it, and I hope you will too. Yeah, sci-fi horror. I think I have. I was reading a review of this. I read so many reviews, and I was thinking of picking this up. Weirdly enough. Limited of 1,000 copies, signed by actor George Stover. Nice. Well, again, from Retro Movie as well. Again, Todd, thank you so much for this, mate. You didn't have to. The slip covers alone, which I'll show later on in the update, was enough. You didn't have to include this as well. So yeah, your package will be sent very soon to you, my friends. So thanks very much for that. Again, Todd E Walnuts. I'll leave his link below. Subscribe to him. He's got a great channel. He's a really good guy as well. So yeah, definitely show him some support. Next up is unbelievable BBC drama, which I'm currently watching. I'm the third series of it is House of Cards. I just cannot recommend this programme enough. Ian Richardson's performance is just absolutely masterful. Script's amazing, story's wonderful. Just I got no desire to see the US equivalent with Kevin Spacey. I can't see it being topped by this, and Richardson's performance is just sublime. It's I'd recommend it to anybody if you haven't seen it already. It's fantastic, really good. Picked this up cheap. It's got both the theatrical and extended cuts on it. Independence Day. I love the film. I really do. It's I remember seeing it at the cinema. It's just good old-fashioned fun. Quaid's performance in this still makes me laugh. It's really good. It's really, still fast-paced as well. The extended edition adds bits of dialogue with Goldblum and his father, and a few other pieces here and there. It's just a good film. I hear mixed things about the second film, but I might see it at some point. We've got the Hindenburg with George C. Scott. I do like George C. Scott. His performance in Patton, and amongst many others as well, but he's just unbelievable. I've never seen this one, so I look forward to seeing that. Another film I haven't seen, another Robert Shaw film that I need to become acquainted with. Harrison Ford as well, Force 10 from Navarone. I hear some, I hear kind of good things about this. Who else we got in this? We've got Edward Fox as well. Oh, and Franco Nero. Who I'm a massive fan of. Love that cover art as well. It's fantastic. Robert Shaw as well. Great actor. I picked up here. Hang on, there's a mixture of stuff. No. This is what first of a few. Is this Kino? Try to have a look here. This is City Heat with Clint Eastwood and Burt Reynolds. Set in I think it's I was going to say City of No Name. So no, it's set in Kansas City in 1933. Burt Reynolds is a private detective. Eastwood playing Eastwood as a police officer. It's okay. You can't really make its mind if it's going to be a sort of a comedy or a serious drama. It kind of falls short. Richard Roundtree's Burt Reynolds, his friend who gets murdered, but it's distinctly average. It's if you see it once, you don't need to see it again. It's not that great. Got a double feature of Willis. Got Last Man Standing and Last Boy Scout. Last Boy Scout's amazing, and I've always been a fan of Last Man Standing. There's some amazing gunplay in it. Moorhill does a fantastic job with it. It's some really very Woo-esque. It's really good. Irish and Italian gangs going at it in a small border town. I think it's in Texas. I love it. It's good. It's got a great cast as well. And Last Boy Scout's just amazing. Love that film. Love the Kim Coates scene in that. It's fantastic. Now this one I've been waiting for ages. Is a network release. Stars James Booth, who I love. Joan Collins. It's Revenge. Joan Collins, James Booth, Publicans, and James Booth's daughter gets murdered. She's the stepmother, and they believe a guy in town, Kenny Griffith, has killed her, and they end up capturing him, hold him in their pub basement and pub cellar rather, and they want to find out if he did it or not. And it's really good. The ending is, I absolutely love the ending of this. It's fantastic. I'm not going to reveal too much. Constantly has you guessing which way, this way and that. It's really good. It's worth it for the ending alone. It's a real good one. Definitely recommend that. Now these are the Kino titles. I seem to think. I thought City Heat was Kino. No, I'm not sure. First up was, all of these are well worth seeing, by the way. Still Justice. Martin Cove plays a Vietnam vet, comes back. His friend from Vietnam gets murdered. His whole family in a fantastically hilarious scene. He goes on the warpath. Directed by the guy who did Electric Glide in Blue, which I love. Ronnie Cox. Bernie Casey, Soon Teko, he's from Missing in Action. He plays a great villain. it's such a fun film. It's amazingly daft and brilliant. Some great lines in it. I would recommend this wholeheartedly. Still Justice. I had a bootleg of that from VHS. It's a great one. Definitely watch that. Another really entertaining one. Blazing Magnum with Stuart Whitman, John Saxon, Martin Landau. There's some real good bits in this. Highlight definitely Stuart Whitman in a fight with 3 trannies. There's some really good some funny moments in that. It's good. It's really interesting. I really like that. That was a good film, good fun. Another film which was tremendous fun. We've got a great cast here. We've got Savalas, Peter Fonda, Hugh O'Brien, we've got OJ Simpson, Christopher Lee, Killer Force. Great cover art. I prefer the alternative ending on this as well. It's great. It's in the. It's kind of got a wild Geesian, Dirty Dozen kind of like mould to it. Set in South Africa as a group of guys who are group of mercenaries trying to rob this diamond syndicate. And Savalas is he's the security officer trying to stop them. It's tremendous fun. I really enjoyed it. But definitely watch for the alternative ending. The alternative ending's brutal as fuck. It's really good. I picked up a big Wayne. So I'm trying to like pillage my kind of last massive Wayne fan. So I picked up Hellfires, which I've never seen. Wayne really airshot quite well there. Bruce the fuck. Yeah, Bruce Cabot, who's in loads of Wayne films, constantly. He seems to sort of hang on Wayne's career like a sort of some sort of barnacle on an old boat, but you know he's kind of fun. Andrew McLaughlin, who directed so many of Wayne's films. I like him as well as a director. We've got McHugh. This is a weird one. It's weird seeing Wayne. You know, I'm so used to seeing him in westerns, and this isn't bad. It's oh god, well, who's in this as well? Oh, Alitieri, who's in Scandalous. You know, he's not in that many films due to him, you know, sadly dying at such like a young age. You know, it's a shame. He was so good, such a good actor. Chisholm, amazing cover art. Love this film. Great ending. Really good. Who does Wayne fight at the end of this? Forrest Tucker. Great one. Really enjoy it. One of my favourite Waynes. Yeah, this is well worth getting. We have from Warner Archive, they're expendable. We've got Montgomery and Wayne. War Bond. Film I haven't seen yet. I'm going to watch this over the weekend, I reckon. Yeah, I imagine that's going to be very good. And this is just an absolute classic Wayne. Brilliant film. Vern Johnson, Harry Carey Jr. The transfer on this is absolutely lush as well. Sure, Yellow Ribbon. Just, you know. Do you know what? When I see people like Tarantino make these little comments about Ford, and he's not a hair on Ford's ass. Wishes he had the talent Ford had. You know, Ford is. I adore the scene in this when I imagine you wouldn't get it now because you'd get the old social justice warrior lynch mob out. But the scene when one of the soldiers who was obviously an ex-Confederate, what do they call him? They call him John Smith in it, and he's formerly a brigadier, someone from the Confederate Army. Ben Johnson says, you know, can we just bury him, sir? And he says, oh, you know, no worries. And they've had a piece of old cloth. They've put a Confederate flag over his grave, and I think Dixie's playing. You know, just that thing. It's just a lovely little scene in it, but which you could tell they just well, you know, you just wouldn't have it now. But it's just a great film. Wayne's performance is just unbelievably good in this film. It's a wonderful film. Honestly, just don't make films like the direction as well. Cinematography, the bit in the storm in this is just it's unbelievable. Ford was in a league of his own, honest to God. And you know, when I see people, particularly when I see people comment on his representation of Native Americans, which obviously someone like Tarantino's never seen a Ford film, because if you see his representation of Indians in films, Native Americans, you'll see that he gave them more character than any films like during the period. You know, he showed Native Americans in an amazingly good light, and you know, and he was honest in his portrayal. And it's sad that when I see comments about him, you know, it's obvious from people who have never seen Ford films. I really mean that. You know, just when I've seen some of the comments towards Ford, it drives me crazy. Anyway, right, we have a few Scream Factories. I've picked up Texas Chainsaw Massacre 2. A lot of fun. Had the hour one. It's good. And when was this? I'm trying to think when this was made. I'm not sure if this was during the period when Dennis Hopper was off his. I know Dennis Hopper used to just sign on films during the period, because I know his alcoholism. I'm pretty sure I read an interview with Dennis Hopper once where he literally said he doesn't really remember from 68 to 80. I'm pretty sure that was mid 80s, but you know, I'm not sure if he was just kind of recovering. Got Bordello of Blood. This came about a slipcover. Todd helped me out. It's some of the script is a bit wayward. It's not in Demon Knight is a hell of a lot better than this, but yeah, there's some fun parts. Dennis Miller, who is the making of this is really funny. Again, Dennis Miller's not there to defend himself, and you know that has to be stated. But just some of his Corey Feldman's interviews are really funny on this about Dennis Miller. It really made me laugh. Dennis Miller just writing his own script, basically. On top of the script they're already doing, writing his own lines. Yeah, but it's fun, man. It's got some fun elements to it. Now, I had to pick these up, and the cover art is fantastic of it. It really is. Picked up the first Jeepers Creepers. Love it. Saw it at the cinema. I think it's a fantastic. I think the Creeper is just an awesome character. I think this has got the deleted scenes on it. Some good deleted scenes. Has this got deleted scenes on it? Trying to look. Yeah, it has deleted and extended scenes. Good ones on that. Great film. Justin Long, I think he's a great actor. I thought his performance in Drive Me to Hell was unbelievable. Really. I'm not sure who the female is in this. I don't think I've seen him much. And then we got the second film, which I love as well. I love the scene when you see the creeper running out the cornfields, and he throws his spiked disc and it hits the wheel of the truck, and Ray Wise just mental in it. Really good. And look, you love Victor. What's his name again? Victor Salva. Look, Victor Salva's a contemptible, degenerate piece of shit who really shouldn't have a career after what he did. And I guess I'm a hypocrite, because I've got, you know, I've got the film, you know, Clown House, which I love. It's a great film, but unfortunately, anyone needs, you know, if you read about it, you know, that guy should have been doing, I don't know how many years he did in prison, but it wasn't not near enough what he did. And it just shows, really, doesn't it, with Hollywood, you know, you can do so much degeneracy and, you know, all around pervertedness, and including child abuse, and you can still have a career. It's absurd, really, but that's just the way things go within. You know, Hollywood seems to go by a different set of rules than we all do. But anyway, this film I adore. Manhunter. Love it. So many great films, but this film, oh, just the way it's shot, the score, the acting. William Peterson is unbelievable. Brian Cox, who I think I prefer him as Hannibal Lecter. I really do. Tom Noonan, unbelievable. I love this film. The extras are great on this as well. The interview with Peterson, fantastic. Interview as well with Tom Noonan's great. William Peterson talks about a scene in this. I don't know if you ever remember when it's about 3/4 way through the film, and he's on the phone. I don't know who to. And you see in the background the hotel. You see a building, and you see a lift going up with the light. Michael Mann predetermined that scene. He planned it all out for the lift to go up in the background. Just unbelievable. You know, the detail in this film is just brilliant. The ending is fantastic. It's just a brilliant film. So good as well. Stephen Lang as well got a smaller role in this. It's brilliant. Couldn't recommend it enough. Just, oh, fantastic film. Really do love that one. Right, next up, fantastic horror film. one of my favourites. Had to get the media book of this. Candyman. Read the story as well by Clive Barker. I can't tell if it's in... Oh God, it's so long ago. I can't tell if it's in one of the books of blood. Is it in one of the books of blood? I'm not too sure. It's set on a council estate in Liverpool. And to be honest, look, the film really... I think Bernard Rose directed it. Score as well is fantastic. It's Philip Glass. Oh, I love this. I even after all this time, even I remember, you know, I always whistle the main tune in the score. It's a great film. Great moments in this. I think the lifting of Candyman to, I think it's Chicago, but I like the set more in the ghetto look. I think that had it was better than the story was only very short in the original Clive Barker story, but it's a great film. It really is. Virginia Madsen does a great job. The guy plays a husband. Oh God, what's his name? Always plays a piece of shit in things. I think is it Xander Berkeley? I think that's his name. He does a great job as well. Second film as well is great. I haven't seen the third film, but this is a really good one. This is a just fantastic look at me. It really is good. Yeah, Tony Todd does a great job. It's a really good film. Really enjoy it. It's it's well worth it. If you have never seen Candyman, I'm sure you have, but you'll definitely see it. Now, this is another Grindhouse release. Had to get it. Cat in the Brain. It glows in the dark as well. But you know, I can't show that now, unfortunately. But Lucio Fulci. Is it one of Lucio Fulci's best? No, but I tell you what, the gore in this is just splendid. Splendid gore. I'll show you the back of it as well. Grindhouse release, my God, it's just laden with extras. Something's better. I really do. I have all there's something very special about Grindhouse. You know, again, you know, they won't be doing many more. Probably after that. I'm trying to think of the next kind of couple. Yeah, Grindhouse. Have they released Sergeant? No, I Drink Your Blood, and then there's another one I want to get afterwards. So there's you got the original movie soundtrack. Show it inside as well. It's a crazy one, just fucking nuts. But it's again, it's not one of Fulci's best films, but the gore is splendid gore. Yeah, definitely. I mean, you know, just Grindhouse. He had the last thing with release Pieces. I love that film, and you know, he had a bit of moaning about oh God, what was it? You know, the titty puzzle or whatever it was, and you know, some people have a point. I'm not going to get into that. You know, some people might have had a point. You know, I'm not here to judge them, but yeah, they release some great releases. They really do. I mean, this is just laden, and definitely again, you know, if you like your Fulci, I remember when I was watching old Deuce Lives video, and he said it was either Argento or Fulci. I can't choose really, you know, because I tell you, if you take the best of Fulci and Argento and put them next together, you know, it's a very closely contested draw, isn't it? You know. But yeah, the gore is fantastic in this. Again, you know, I think I paid about 23 for this. This came in good time as well. Oh God, I can't remember where I ordered it from now. They got a place in Scotland. I got I got the Beyond from there as well. It came in good time, real good time. But this is a just unbelievable release. You know, people like Grindhouse, you know, they need your support. All these places do, because when they put so much effort into releases like this, you know, definitely get it. It's just fantastic. It's great. So yeah, look, that's the end of the update. Again, you know, thank you, Todd, for helping me out with stuff, and check his channel out. Pick this film up, and I'll be back with another update. Probably be a while now, but yeah, thanks for watching. Thanks for subscribing. Your comments. I'm sorry if you know, with your comments I don't get back to them as regular as I do. I do apologise. It's not. I'm not being rude in any way. Just time constraints. So yeah. Thank you very much, and I will see you soon. Cheers.